What's good, everybody? This is Robo from All Bark, and I'm back with another draft prospect breakdown. Today on the channel, I'm going to be going over one of my personal favorites and someone I was really happy to see land with my Detroit Pistons. It's Houston guard Marcus Sasser. Marcus Sasser is coming off of an elite senior season at Houston where he established himself as one of the nation's best players. Marcus finished the season with an 11.0 box plus minus score, which is an advanced stat that shows your overall contribution to the team on the floor. It's pretty similar to wins above replacement in baseball. That number ranks second in the draft, tied with Brandon Miller. In terms of awards, Marcus Sasser was a first-team All-American and was named the American Conference Player of the Year. In terms of his fit at the NBA, he's not much of a playmaker, so I don't think he's a traditional point guard. So he is a bit undersized as a combo guard, but I think his game more than makes up for that. He was a great finisher at the college level, but I expect his game to be more perimeter-centric when he starts in the NBA until he gets some more confidence about scoring on NBA athletes. A positive note about his frame, though, is that he does have a 6'7" wingspan, so he has some length to him despite being a little bit undersized. Before we get into some highlights, here's a real quick statistical breakdown of Sasser's season as a whole. Starting off with his best asset is his three-point shooting. Marcus is an extremely strong shooter from deep. He's got clean mechanics and a big-time confidence pulling up from anywhere in any situation. Marcus shot nearly 39% from three this season on 250 attempts, which breaks down to around 7 shots a game, which is very high volume. He broke Houston's all-time three-pointers made record this past season, and from a percentage standpoint is right in the same area as Bryce Sensabaugh, Grady Dick, and Jordan Hawkins among three-point shooters in this draft. He also had a true shooting percentage of just under 60%, which led all draft-eligible guards in the country.
Nice look. That is Sasser with the three.
Now he clears out. Jed's going to drive in and kick it out. Sasser from the corner. Dagger. Really, who've watched it. Sasser, look at this distance.
Oh my goodness. Don't settle. Attack.
Behind the back he goes. Sets up Sasser. He hits the three.
Marcus is an extremely effective shooter off the dribble. His go-to move off the dribble is without a doubt the step-back jumper. So many times throughout this season, he dusted his man with a step-back move to create an open shot for himself. You'll really struggle to find a better space creator in this draft than Marcus Sasser. He's definitely in the upper echelon in terms of shooting off the dribble.
Handoff for Shed. And his pass is deflected and intercepted, and it's Sasser up the floor, doesn't have the numbers, and puts up a three, and his bell rung on a screen. Sasser, a step-back three. Sasser, step-back three. It's good. Sasser steps into a three.
This year, going for the ball early. Sasser going for one.
And
Sasser working around that screen. Step back, cut it to two. He hits it. He does. Step back three. That's his game.
Has taken the lead. He loves it. He adds a little crossover.
Another big part of Sasser's game is the floater. He's very confident floating the ball up anywhere inside the arc and shot a pretty strong percentage on these types of shots. With his lack of size at the guard position, I would expect him to utilize the floater a fairly high amount early on as he transitions into facing bigger and better athletes at the next level.
It's for Mortal. Sasser.
Clappable misses. It's one of my favorite terms.
Sasser. Put Miller into the meat indicator of that. Houston's up to 53% shooting. Sasser with a push shot. Sasser. Float relocates. Soars in the floater.
In terms of mid-range shooting, Sasser was pretty average numbers-wise as he shot about 40% on 100 attempts on deep twos, and he also shot 85% from the free throw line, which can sometimes show a player's ability to shoot the ball at a high level from this range. I definitely think this is another area Sasser will thrive in at the next level, especially surrounded by strong mid-range shooters in Cade Cunningham and Jaden Ivey. I expect him to shoot a fairly strong percentage in the mid-level in the NBA, with some more work with those guys as well.
Sasser, pull up, yes!
Other than Sasser, Houston is 1 for 15 this half.
You hate my team, Kevin Brown.
Sasser, that's beautiful. Wow. That's set. Sasser with the jumper. Tough shot.
As I've stated, Sasser is an incredibly gifted scorer, especially on the jumper, but one area that I think he stood out in college is his rim finishing ability. Although the NBA may be an adjustment for him due to his size, his already strong numbers at the rim give me confidence this will be yet another strength of his at the next level. Overall at the rim, Marcus shot over 64% on 84 total attempts. It's not a super high volume, but definitely a decent sample size to show his ability to finish layups through contact. He only had 6 dunks this year, so these finishing numbers are largely layups from drive attempts. To put this number into perspective, the only other first-round guard who shot a higher percentage at the rim than Sasser was Cason Wallace, who went 10th overall to the Thunder and is a bigger guard compared to Marcus. Overall, on the offensive end, Marcus finished the year with an 123.5 offensive rating, which was the highest in the NBA draft among guards and one of the highest overall as well.
Sasser, the runner.
Sasser. In the lane, the scoop, and in. Thought about it, but both are closed out. Sasser Sasser with his man on.
Done. Poked away by Sasser. There's the steal. Sasser one-on-one with Hicks. What a year!
Sasser parting. Oh, little hezzy from Sasser. Sasser, strong attack.
Wow. And Alabama is eliminated. They go out losing by 7. There's Sasser scores.
Playmaking is somewhat of a concern with Sasser, as he averaged just 3 assists per game at the point guard spot in college, this season being his career high. This just isn't going to be his role offensively. He isn't an inept playmaker at all. He can make a read and find an open man and throw some crisp passes, but overall, his ball handling and scoring ability is just too strong to not utilize as much as possible, so his role in the offensive end will typically be to score the ball whenever he's in the game. You'll probably often see him paired with Cade, Ivy, or Killian on the floor to help utilize their playmaking strengths and his scoring strengths together.
Nice pass. Sasser for Francis.
Going, so that will clear up some open offensive lanes for Phelps and Zerk.
Sasser with an open. Skillings Jr. had it in his hand, but Sasser took it away. Gets it up to Roberts for the dunk.
They never let up. They don't care what the score is.
Roberts.
Want to take that up together at the break? I'll stay out of your way. I'm sure we'll have something for me. Houston's last lead was 10-8.
Under 7 minutes to play. There's Chaney. Just 2. Sasser with the head fake, hesitation, dump off to Walker. Finish.
Here, 7-0 run for Memphis. The Sasser. Pretty to Chaney, and
Big play by Roberts.
and he wanted a foul call. Wasn't there. Sasser is stuck, goes outside to Sharp.
Defense is absolutely an area where Sasser shines. Houston was by far the best defensive team in the country thanks to the contributions from American Defensive Player of the Year Jamal Shead, as well as top 10 pick Jarris Walker and a very strong on-ball ability out of Marcus Sasser. Statistically, Sasser averaged 1.6 steals a game with a 3.2 steal percentage, which is comparable to the likes of Cason Wallace, Anthony Black, and defensive ace Jalen Clark. He also carries a 3.6 defensive box plus minus rating, which scores similar to Jarris Walker at 3.6 and Cason Wallace at a 3.8. Lastly, he finished the season with an overall defensive rating at 88.4, which is only beaten out by all 3 of UCLA's trio of Jalen Clark, Jaime Jaquez, and Amari Bailey. As a defender, Sasser has excellent quickness to blow up passing lanes that lead to fast break offense and really active hands as an on-ball defender to poke the ball loose and keep his man uncomfortable as a ball handler. He also did not foul at a high rate whatsoever, averaging just 2 fouls per game while being such an aggressive defender, which is a huge plus. This level of defense is definitely an area where Troy Weaver saw major upside worth trading up in the draft for, as the Pistons definitely lack defense throughout their roster besides Cade and now Asar.
Oh, Locken tried to just give it right back to him, and Sasser steals it.
Right there on that play, Shed had turned the corner. To hands.
Nice going up ahead. Shed looks, and he's able to score.
And then Sasser rips it away from Koulibaly and draws the foul.
Overall, I really liked Marcus Sasser heading into the draft. I've been a fan of his for the last 2 years, and I think his age being 22 already and his height are really the only reason he wasn't unanimously ranked higher as a prospect. If he was a younger guy, I definitely think he could have been in the conversation for a mid-first round pick. With his level of talent on both ends, he just got such an incredible feel for creating his own offense along with the elite handle. I see him impacting the Pistons positively right away and expect him to be firmly in the rotation off the bench to start the season. He's a winning player who plays with a high motor and high intensity, and is that type of prototype of guard I believe every team with championship aspirations needs, so I'm really glad the Pistons were able to land him in the draft. As far as player comparisons go, there's a few guys that come to mind that fit his mold, including Davion Mitchell, Javon Carter, and a positive defending Terry Rozier. Just that undersized combo guard who can shoot at a really high level and play with an energy that makes up for his lack of size. That's going to be it for this breakdown video, guys. Thanks for watching once again, and I'll see you guys in my next video. Peace.